Hey, it's me, Dax, again, back with yet another mad rambling for you. Today's mad rambling is called "Ditch the Bitch." Okay, ditch the bitch. And no, I'm not. I'm not talking about somebody who's giving you a hard time. I'm not talking about kind of girlfriends or or any of those kind of things. I'm talking about ditching the idea of bitching. Okay, ditching the idea of bitching. There you go. Nice little bit of poetry there for you. Right. So here's the thing. We all go through life at times bitching. We bitch, we whine, we moan, we complain about things in life that aren't working out the way we'd planned, about people in life that aren't behaving as we'd hoped they would behave, about kind of any number of things that ultimately is just not how we want it to be. Okay. And it could be anything. It could be your kids not tidying their rooms. It could be your partner not doing what they said they would do at a certain time or whatever, right? Kind of putting the trash out, put any number of things. It could be about your employees. It could be about anything. And we bitch, and we bitch, and we bitch, and we bitch, and we whine, and we moan, and we complain. Okay, now, what does all that bitching, whining, and moaning, and complaining do? It actually doesn't really do very much other than make you feel crap. Okay, because here's the thing. The more times you replay something that's crappy in your mind, the more real it becomes for you. Think about that, right? So your kids didn't tidy their room, and in your head you go, "It's terrible. The kids should have tidied their room." So let's look at this in real terms. The first time you're a bit annoyed, okay? Kids didn't tidy the room. You're a bit annoyed. They were supposed to. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and it's annoyed you a bit. Then you start to replay it in your mind. Why didn't they play it? Why didn't they tidy their room? You know, they know it. They know I've told them that they should have played, that they should have tidied up. And so now we've got a second instance. Effectively, for your brain, that crime has now been committed twice. It wasn't just one crime. Okay, I use the word crime for whatever it is that you're bitching about. Okay, the crime was only committed once, but in your mind now it's been committed twice. Okay, so effectively you could say you're twice as pissed off as you were before. Then when your partner comes home, you say, you never guess what? The kids, they didn't tidy their room. It's terrible. You know, I've asked them to tidy it and they still haven't tidied their room. So now you've got a third complaint. In your mind now, you've built up a third crime and a fourth crime and a fifth crime. Okay? And every time you go through it, the crimes get larger and larger and larger. It's almost as if this one event has happened numerous times. So it's not really a surprise that you get really pissed off about it. That it's really holding all of your attention, and at some point you're very likely to snap. And whatever version of snap is for you. Maybe it's that you raise your voice. Maybe that you know you kind of maybe snap for you is just that you personally inside just walk around seething and feeling angry all day long. Okay. It all comes from holding on to the bitch. Okay, holding on to the complaint. Now, here's what we can do instead. We can ditch the bitch. Instead of whining and complaining and moaning and replaying the same crime over and over and over in our head, we can actually just deal with things there and then. Okay? And we can deal with things there and then in a couple of different ways. One of the ways in which we can deal with it is by refusing to play it over until the point where we're actually talking to the people that we deem to be the criminals. Okay? Because look at this. This is something that happens a lot. People go to work, and while they're at work, they spend all of their time complaining about what's going on at home. Okay, oh, my wife this, and my husband that, and my kids this. Oh, God, you wouldn't believe the kind of life I've got back at home. And then you get back home, and in the evening, you spend all evening complaining to your partner about the people at work. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. They dropped me in the crap again, and they didn't do what they said they would do, and they're asking this of me, and it's so unfair. And then you spend all evening complaining to your partner about the kids. Right? Oh, they've got to do this, and it's so not fair. You know, I can't believe they're not doing it. And then when you speak to your kids, often you complain, yeah, I know, mum said this or dad said that. Yeah, I know, it's not really fair. How about you just do this? How about you deal with, for want of a better expression, to stay on track, deal with the criminal at the time. And only deal with the criminal about the specific crime that you have a complaint about. How about that? Okay? Instead of speaking to the wrong people about the wrong things at the wrong time. Okay, so deal with the things as they come up. Tony Robbins has got this kind of little thing that he says, which really makes a lot of sense to me, and I talk about this all the time. Kill the monster while it's a baby. Okay, kill the monster while it's a baby. The analogy he uses is that imagine that, you know, kind of you're right there. You're right there at the beginning when Godzilla's kind of eggs very first hatch, right? And with hindsight now, we know that it's going to grow into a 300-foot monster that's going to trample down New York. Okay, at some point we're going to have to kill it anyway because we can't just let it trample down New York. So it's actually easier on all concerned to kill the monster while it's a baby. Okay, a way of kind of thinking of that then is while the problems are small, deal with them. Okay, while the problems are small, deal with them, because if they're small, you can take care of them. But if you ignore them and you ignore them and ignore them, Godzilla grows, and then you're having to fight a huge monster. Okay, it makes no sense. It also makes no sense to actually be spending all of your time bitching about the stuff that you do have control over, and you have control over a hell of a lot more than you generally tend to think you have. Okay, it's just that for whatever reason we generally tend to get a bit whiny, a bit bitchy, a bit complainy. Let's look at it in another way: a bit cowardly for dealing with stuff. We can't be bothered with the argument that might ensue. We can't be bothered with the whining of the kids. We can't be bothered with the complaints off the boss or the work colleagues, and so we ignore it, and we don't complain to the right person. I'll use the word complain. We don't complain to the right person. In other words, we don't deal with it there and then, and we let the monster grow. And then we've got to spend a lot of our time and our effort and our energy and our emotion bitching and whining and complaining, because that's our way of getting some of it off our chest. However, the point here is that we don't really ever get it off our chest. By bitching, whining, and complaining, we don't get rid of it. Okay, what we do is we revisit the crime scene over and over and over and over again, to the point where we are really pissed off. Okay, so stop revisiting the crime scene. Okay, stop revisiting the crime scene. When the crime occurs, deal with the crime and deal with the criminal. Okay, when a crime occurs, deal with the crime, deal with the criminal while it's still young, because then you can destroy it. You kill the monster while it's a baby. Okay, don't carry all the crap around with you all day, every day, and don't talk to the people that can do nothing about helping you solve the problem. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort, it's a waste of energy, and all you do is you reenact the crime one more time with another person who can't possibly help you deal with it. Okay, so look, that's my mad rambling. I know I kind of repeated the same thing about 3 or 4 times, but that's my style. That's how I do things. I'm a bit repetitive, but I'm hoping that you got something out of this. The idea of ditching the bitching. Okay, just stop complaining. Just deal with stuff and deal with it early, so that you don't have to go into bitch mode. Kill the monster while it's a baby. Don't let it get so big that you're now fearful of combating it. Deal with it while it's small. Okay, yet will it be uncomfortable? Probably, to begin with. For most of us, confrontation over anything is a little bit uncomfortable, so it'll probably be uncomfortable. But it's like doing your reps in the gym. The more times you do your reps, the stronger you get. Okay, then you start to look forward to going to the gym and training a little bit harder. Dealing with a monster while it's a baby is kind of like that. Right? The first couple of times you have to confront a person about things that you don't like. It's a bit uncomfortable. After that, you get used to it, and people get used to you dealing with things very quickly as well. Okay, so that's it. That's my mad rambling for today. I hope you find it useful, and I'll speak to you again very soon.